Hello and welcome to Relax with Watercolour. This is the last program in the series, and today I'm on Lough Conn in Mayo, and we're going to do a monochrome. And this painting will have rays of light coming out of the clouds, and it'll be called a ray of hope. So we're going to start off in our time-honoured way. We're going to wet our paper 2/3 of the way down, like this. And because it's the last program in the series, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone here at Les Popple Studios for all their hard work and their patience and understanding. And also, remember what I said, that if anyone would like one of these paintings, just drop us a line on headed paper and we'll do our best to facilitate you. Going with my indigo. Now this painting has quite a few elements in it. So I have to build this up very, very slowly. I'm going to start off, come across the top. And that's all going to darken down, and especially around the horizon line. I'm going to take this very slowly. I'll just rise this as it is. There's not too much tones of colour on here just yet, but as we develop the painting, we'll add in more colour as we go. And just move the colour around the paper. This would be in terms of difficulty, this would be quite a difficult painting to do because of these rays that we're going to have coming out of the clouds. But we'll make it as easy as we possibly can, because I know some of you are painting with me. Now at this level here, at this stage, I'm going to take some more tone, more colour. And this time I want to develop this area here, and I want to start off with darker tones. I'm going to go in there a little bit heavier, I think. Darker tones here. And there. Now I'm just setting up now where my rays are going to come out of, so I'm just putting in a dark tone here. I'm going to be darkening this down as well. Keep some of my light there. And I want to get in some cloud shape, so I'm making the cloud shape with the brush, like this. There's the cloud shape there, you can see it just developing. Pulls back there. And a little bit more over here. Now again, I'm just going to develop that a little bit by raising it up, turning it over. It's developing very well now. Just turn it this way. Ease that off. Okay, so I have my cloud shapes here, have these dark tones here, which I will be developing more. But first of all, I need to let this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to add in more tone. But I'll just add in a little bit more tone first, just up, and because I need this really, really dark. The darker this is, the better. I'm just taking some more very thick indigo here. I'm going to try and darken this sky as much as I possibly can. A little bit more. if you're enjoying the program and enjoying the different projects that we're doing every week, you'll also find that in the Relax with Watercolour book, there's a lot more projects there as well that you could try out. And let me know how you get on with them. We're always very keen to see new paintings and new work. So I'm just developing this a little bit here. Now it's time to dry all this off. Now, I'm going to dry this. Okay, our sky is now dry, so I'm going to put it up on the easel. Now, we've got a very dramatic sky here. So what we want down here now is a quiet landscape. So all we're going to put in here, a little bit of water, a little bit of a mountain here, and then we'll try and get our rays out. So once you have a quiet landscape, you can put in a spectacular sky. So first of all, I'm going to put in our distant mountain, which is Nathan. And we'll start off, again, we're just using the one colour. Bring it up here like that. That's the shape of Nathan there. Just bring that back. And I'm going to be putting in a little bit of distant headland along here, all the way along there. But that's the actual shape that I need first. So I'm just going to get rid of that excess paint. Just run that along there. Take that away. Just fade it out. That's all we need to do with that. Now I'm just going to let that dry for a second, and then I'll dry it thoroughly then with the hairdryer, and then we put in our headland, and then we'll try and get in our rays. So I'll just dry this off. Now this time, I'm just taking one of my detail brushes, and I'm going to bring this middle ground across here now, just a little bit at a time. Like that. And just very carefully blend that across there. And you can show it a few little pieces of white here and there, like that. They could be inlets, they could be rocks, anything at all in the distance, little bit of water, all of that. Drag the brush so you get that little effect. Now, I'm going to, as I come across here, I'm going to rise this slightly. So I'm just going to come up here slightly like that. There we are. And again, just push the brush across. And that drag there will open up for you, and it'll give you that kind of a sparkly, almost sparkly effect on the landscape. And this comes down here and finishes. And again, that little drag helps it all. Now, that's fairly okay. But I want to darken that down a little bit more because it's going to be more spectacular. The darker I make this, the better it's going to be. So I'm just going to keep adding a little bit of tone in here because I really want to get this dark. And you just take it a little stage at a time, darkening it down. Every time you darken it down, you create more light. You create more light. The darker you make this, the more light you're going to get into your painting. And again, just over here. Now our landscape, as I said, is going to be very quiet. So all we have here is a sparkle in our water. What's going to make it so dramatic is the rays coming from the clouds, which we have to put in yet. I'm just going to darken this down a little bit more. You can spend a little bit of time in around here. So you're just putting little dark spots or pieces right beside it. So you're not losing that light. Let that fade off there. We'll continue over here. And again back here. And again, I'm just going to finish off on this. Like with the watercolor, you make that brush stroke count. Oil painters have short brush strokes. Watercolor painters have longer brush strokes. There we go. Just this little bit here now, just not that happy with. I just want to fix that. There we are. That's a little bit better. That little dip there. Okay, so now we have our sky, we have our Nathan Mountain here, and we have our middle ground here. So we're now ready to get in our water here, and then we start working on our sparkle, or on our rays, I should say. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just get a swipe across here and create some light so that I'll know where I have to put my rays. So I'm just going to do that now. So I'll just put that straight across there like that. Okay, so I have a lot of light here, so I'm going to try and bring my rays to correspond with that. And again, just go darker. The more darker I go, the more light I'm going to create. I'm going to try over here as well. Get some dark tones in there. Now we're not going to do an awful lot down here. We may get in a few rocks or a few little bits of foliage, things like that. But the main concentration is going to be on these rays. So I need to dry that off first before we continue. Now what's essential about this is that that painting is totally dry before we attempt this next stage, and that's to try and get those rays in. So I'm taking my brush. We want very light tones here. So the main thing here is this is where we want to create our light here. So it's where we put our dark tones that's going to be important. Now I'm going to start off, there's light here, so I want to try and keep that area. So I'm just going to take it from here and I'll put in this area like that. And then I'm going to put in a ray there. And I'm going to finish that off out like this. I'm just going to kill that a little bit there. Now, this is my main ray coming in here that I want. So I'm going to open that up there. I'm going to try and get another ray in here. Like that. So I have a corresponding part there, there, here, and here. So that's what I'm looking at. Now I want to put a very heavy cloud up here so that those rays look like they're coming from that cloud. So we're going to go in very heavy here. Very heavy. So you're trying to create clouds like this. So this is where your rays are coming from. So I'm going to go above that now again. I'm going to keep in some of those. Sometimes rays can come up as well as down. Just keep some of that in there. And again, I'm just going to keep going up with that. Start up here now and just try and get those very dark tones in. Kill all the light around there so that we can focus on this area here. A little bit of light coming in there. Save that piece. And I'm just going to add some light tones here. Yeah. Need to balance that all up. Here we are. Now, we have those rays coming out of there now. I'm going to darken this area once more, just to get those rays going up a little bit more paint, I think. And we need to reinforce the fact that it's the dark that creates the light. The darker I make this, the more light I'm going to put into that painting. Now, we're getting very near completion. Where we don't have a bit of light, we might just put in a couple of little dark tones like this. Now, just a little bit of foreground I have to put in now. But again, I just need a little bit more tone. Just dry this off. Now I just see a few little spots there that just need a bit of attention. Here. That'll also help as well, because the rays I'm not going to do there, you see, but I'll pick it up here again, so it looks like that ray is shining on that piece of the landscape, just to there. And here. There. So if you get a chance, I'm going to be painting around the country at various stages, and if you'd like to come and paint with me, have a look at the website, see where I am, or send us an email. We'll send you on the calendar for the year. Just want to get a little bit in here now. I'm going to use my foliage brush. Just there. Again, those dark tones really help with the light. And you kill all the light here because you don't want any distractions down here. So you kill all that area with dark tones. Just bring it over. I'm not going to bring it all the way over. Just to here's quite sufficient. I'll get a few more little reeds in. People like them. Just a few more. And just a conclusion then, this is Nathan Mountain, this is Lough Conn in Mayo, and it's called A Ray of Hope. And I'd just like to thank a few people now, if I may, just at the end of the programme. And I'd like to first of all to thank T.G. Cahir for allowing us on the airwaves. And I'd also like to thank Les Papel Studios, and to Paul and to Dave for all their hard work, as I said earlier, for their patience and understanding. And also to you, the viewers, because without you, we wouldn't be making these programs. So until next time, this is Harry Feeney. Relax with watercolour.